Hi, friends and family. It's Angie, and happy Thursday. I hope that you have had a great week thus far and that you got some good plans for the weekend. Whether it's to relax or you got some plans with friends and families or to go out and enjoy yourself. But whatever the case may be, today I wanted to share something with you guys that I am super excited about because I was super excited, this morning when the Lord shared it with me because it really just shook me out of shook me out of that kind of like complacency that I was kind of feeling a little bit in regards to what I'm getting ready to share with you. So what the Lord was sharing with me today and what he wanted me to come on to share with you is that he wants to challenge us to step outside of the box of religion and that religious mindset and also our own logical mental reasoning this year. That he wants to challenge us to step outside of the box of religion and religious thinking and that religious mindset, as well as our own mental reasoning this year. And the reason being that some of us, and I was doing this myself, that some of us are rejecting the answer to our prayers as well as that tug to come closer to him in relationship because it doesn't look like what we have thought in our minds that it should look like or it's outside of that box of religious thinking. And he gave me two instances in the past where he reminded me of okay, Angie, when you were really flowing in this, remember that some of the things that I was giving you to do, some of the instruction and some of the answers to your prayers didn't look like what people in church would say, oh, well, that's weird. The Lord is telling you not to go to Bible study? Yes, the Lord is telling me not to go to Bible study. And I'm going to give you that testimony. So one of my desires when I first, gave my life to Christ was desiring, reconciliation and just a closer relationship with, my family, I was really desiring, to be closer to my sister at this particular time because, growing up, we weren't as close. And so, as adults and after having lost our mom, I really, wanted to be close to my sister. And so, so at that time, I was really, going to church consistently. I was there every Sunday, every Wednesday, every conference, every time the doors was open, I was there. And, and in some regard, especially at that beginning stage of my walk with God, when he was really, truly laying that foundation for me, I needed that. I needed that foundation to be laid. But then it also became a point to where the Lord was saying, okay, your foundation has been laid. Now let's transition. And so, again, desiring that closer relationship with my sister, the Lord did that. He answered that prayer by me not going to Bible study. Like I said, I was going to Bible study faithfully, but I started not going and I started staying home on Wednesdays and watching TV with my sister. Now, that does not sound to religious people like that's what God would have me to do, to miss the word, to miss the Bible study, to sit at home on the sofa with my sister and watch CSI. Does that sound like God? Yes, it does. When my prayer is to Lord, I want to be closer to my sister. I want you to reconcile us. I want us to be friends. And how did he do that? Sitting there on Wednesday nights watching CSI with my sister. That's how he mended in our relationship. That's how he planted those seeds for the future growth of our relationship. And now our relationship is so amazing. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So again, it didn't look like what some would consider, like, you know, religion, this religious thing of like, I have to be at Bible study. Oh my gosh, like if I don't show up at Bible study, like God is going to fall off the throne. It's like, he's okay. He's good, and I'm good because I'm being led by him, and he was leading me to stay home and to spend that time with my family, with my sister. And I remember sometimes I wouldn't go to church on Sundays. I would stay home and we would go to breakfast as a family, all of us as a family. So it was like those times when I had to be willing to step outside of that religious thinking that, I had to be at church on Sunday, or I'm not going to be right, or I was going to be missing something. It's like, how am I ever going to miss God when he's in me? And how am I ever going to miss God if I'm studying his word and I'm spending that time with him? And so, going to church, faithfully. Now, I'm not saying don't go to church and don't go to Bible study. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is being led by the Spirit of God, because sometimes we can get so stuck in that mindset and mold. Like, this is what I have to do. No, what you have to do is what God is leading you to do. That's what you have to do. And so, again, I had to learn that it was okay. And it was okay. And the beautiful fruit that came out of that is the loving, amazing relationship that I have with my sister now. And so, again, wouldn't trade it for anything. So then the other thing that the Lord had brought to my remembrance too, as far as like stepping outside of that, your mental reasoning and thinking, which was this amazing testimony that he wanted me to share with you guys. So when I got my first apartment back in 2000, and I think it was 2005 or whatever, in Oak Park, I didn't have any furniture. It was my very first place. I didn't have anything, any furniture. So I remember I was sitting at my desk at work, and I'm just sitting there typing whatever I was doing, and I hear the Holy Spirit say, ask Leslie, which was my coworker who sat in a cubicle like right directly across from me, ask Leslie if she knows someone selling furniture. And I'm thinking like, what? That's weird. So I just kept on typing. Doot, 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 doot. So I keep on going, and then again, I hear that voice inside of me say, ask Leslie if she knows someone selling furniture. And again, I'm like, that's so random. Like, why would I ask her if she knows somebody selling furniture? Like, that's weird. So again, I just keep on typing. And then that third time, now this is what I love about the Lord, is that, he can get firm with us. Sometimes that third time was a little bit more firmer, but still very, still very loving. It was, ask Leslie if she knows anybody selling furniture. So finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask her. So I remember I turned around, swiveled around in my chair, very matter of factly, and was like, Leslie, do you know somebody selling furniture? And she was like, shh, to call me over to her desk. And so I go over there, and she was like, yeah, I am. She was like, I'm moving, and I'm putting in my notice today. I'm moving back to California. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, but don't tell anybody. So she wrote down, her number and stuff, on a sticky note, post-it note, and gave it to me, told me to call her, later, after work, so we can talk about what she had to sell. And I'll never forget going back to my desk like, okay, Holy Spirit, thank you, because I needed that furniture. And literally, she was moving back to California because, for her mom, some family stuff going on, but she was selling everything she had. And she had just literally purchased a brand new queen size bed, dresser, sofa, table, like everything. And she sold everything that was brand new. And I mean, this is like good stuff. This was like from Pier 1. Used to be my favorite store. Pier 1, the sofa was from, the table, the dresser, and then, like I said, she has a brand new bed, and she gave me everything for like $500. Everything, she had just literally purchased the stuff, but had to go back home. And how did I know that? I didn't know she was going to be resigning, putting in her 2-week notice that day. I didn't know she was going back home, but the Holy Spirit knew. And I was sitting at my desk trying to ignore that small, still voice saying, ask Leslie if she knows anybody selling furniture, because it was like a weird, it didn't make sense to my mind. Like, why would I be asking her that? Like, why? And so, again, he was just bringing that up to me today to remind me that, hey, I'm trying to get you what you need. I'm trying to, draw you closer to me, but you're rejecting the thoughts because they are outside of the box. They're outside of your mental box and outside of the box of religious tradition and that religious mindset. And so, again, I know that someone who is listening to this, there's something that has probably been tugging on you that you're just like, I don't know, Lord, is this you really? And so this is him saying, yes, that's me. And so, again, just want to share that, guys. I'll share this with you guys today. Those tuggings, those things that can sometimes seem like they are outside of like something that we've already done before, something that we that we logically understand, or something that doesn't look like church or religion. I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. Well, again, what you're supposed to do is be obedient to the leading of the Holy Spirit. And no matter what anybody has to say, how it looks to anybody, or, and even contrary to what you may think, because sometimes we have faith in our hearts, but this mind be all over the place. And so we have to sometimes silence, our mind, silence that, and be able to go with our hearts, that unction in your heart, that unction in your spirit that is telling you, I'm sorry, I see this light from my blinds on my face. It's so distracting. So plain and simple, that leading, that tugging that you're feeling, that seems like, is this God really? It's him. It's him. It's okay. And he wants you to know that. So that's all I had to say today. I hope this is a blessing to somebody. And and if you have something that you would like to share with me, I would love to hear, your story of how you stepped out on something that was like contrary to what you thought in your mind, or something that was outside of, what would be considered by religious people to be, the God thing to do. I would love to hear your story. So hop on over to the blog or get down up in those comments on Facebook and let me know. But as always, I love you guys. I'm praying for you. And until next time, smooches.